Hello everyone, welcome back to Lady Angela TV. My people, our God is too big to fail us. So, a big congratulations to our beautiful singer and queen of Afrobeat, Tiwa Savage. She don't make history. Wow! Congratulations to her, my people. First Nigerian singer to receive an invitation letter to perform at the coronation of King Charles in London. Despite of all wey she go through last year, God don honour her. A big congratulations to her. I'm so happy for her. Please, my friend, watch this video. Please help me press the notification bell. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and share your thoughts on the comment section. See you on my next video. Bye bye. God bless you.
Nigerian musician Tiwa Savage is on the bill to perform at the coronation of the King Charles III this weekend. An interesting backdrop to Tiwa's invitation is the refusal of top British musicians like Adele, Ed Sheeran and Elton John to grace the coronation, which is set to cost over £100 million, with some speculating up to £250 million of UK tax payers' money, according to Time magazine, and quote, neither Downing Street nor Buckingham Palace will confirm the exact cost of the coronation, though British media outlets have thrown the £100 million figure around as speculation, a sum roughly double the cost of Queen Elizabeth's coronation, and end of quote. Now, the New York Post insinuates that because the British royal family has faced a number of PR disasters in recent times, anyone performing at the show would have to consider whether there would be a backlash from appearing among their fans. Apparently, this event seems to have reinvigorated global focus on the viciously, racist legacy of slavery and the British royal family's part in it, albeit at an inopportune time. Kenim O is a media entrepreneur, filmmaker, and founder of OVG, and multimedia conglomerate. She joins us now to have a quick discussion. It's good to have you with us, Kenim. So, some are speculating that Nigerians shouldn't be in support of this, especially due to the colonial history. So how can you elaborate on this, you think?
Well, I would say that the impact of colonization in Nigeria is still present today. From predatory loans, from the West that are literally debt traps, even though ironically they would claim the Chinese loans are debt traps. But there's are, conditioned to make us, continue to be in this sort of colonial or need, right? So this idea of someone like, say, a Tiwa Savage, performing when even British, like the A-list musicians in the UK are refusing, we have to look a little deeper. What is under that? To me, it shows, that, we're still in this mindset of colonial servitude. We're still sort of culturally clueless and ignorant. Not all Nigerians, but obviously those that don't take the time to educate themselves on this matter. That's pretty much.
Well, no, thank you, Kenim. Now, on one hand, some might even say that Tiwa Savage is actually making a history because, she is the first Nigerian artist to receive an invitation to perform at a foreign royal coronation ceremony. And even if others like Adele might not be gracing this occasion, we do have the likes of, Paloma Faith. So the chances are that Tiwa will go ahead with this performance because she's looking to make history. Do you think she will face as much backlash as might be anticipated by some?
Well, I don't know that she will face the backlash because I think there's a general lack of awareness of the systems of white supremacy on the continent. In America, you see it in your face, but when you look into some of the colonial histories, how the ways that it affects us, you wonder why an expat in Nigeria that does the same job, maybe even less work than you, gets paid 100 times more than you. Or, there are different things like, or hyperinflation in Nigeria. These are all systems set in place by the UK government during the colonial era that still proliferate today. So people don't really necessarily understand how this affects them. And so they think, you don't see white people walking around as much in Nigeria. So you don't know the effects the way that, you see it in America. But it's this sort of invisible war that we're fighting, and the ignorance is how it can continue to proliferate. Yeah.
All right, now let's take a look at other issues. If we could expand this conversation beyond Tiwa's performance, what excites you the most about the historic coronation of King Charles III?
What excites me, I wouldn't use the word excited. I doubt that I'd be watching. I mean, watching him walk down, the aisle, paraded in, blood diamonds that, our forefathers, bled for at horrible mining conditions. This was happening on the continent. So I wouldn't say I'm excited about it.
Okay, well, that's duly noted. Even though I'm sure there's quite a bit of excitement by some that might not, see from your perspective. But could you share with us, a little bit more about what you are into in terms of what you're working on at the moment?
I mean, yeah. So I just released an older documentary on my YouTube channel, The Ken O Show, that talks about the history of white supremacy and its roots in capitalism. I actually visited Badagry slave port in Nigeria, and was able to uncover some interesting truths on that. So go check out at the Ken O Show on YouTube. Outside of that, I'm also very much into Nigerian economic empowerment, and I have a new podcast called Business in Nigeria, where I'm interviewing entrepreneurs and getting the nitty gritty of how they've been able to make millions of dollars, billions in some cases, just so we can all sort of like learn how upward mobility in Nigeria.
Well, that's fantastic. Now, if we want to take this conversation back to, the coronation, it is history being made besides who will be performing and who will not be, in terms of the fact that the king is going to be crowned. How symbolic do you think this is, regardless of the scandal and the history of the royal family?
I don't think you can disregard that. That is how they, built their empire. So I would say the question is, why are we focused in Nigeria? Why are we focused on the British royal family's coronation? Why are we not focused on our own, like the Benin Obas and the Uni of Ifes? And, why are we not focused on our own royal family, and our own legacies and our histories? I think that's a real question. Pay attention to Black upward mobility, right, and Black economic empowerment, as opposed to always having to look to the West as though that is what to aspire to. I think there've been great examples in Asia, from the Middle East to China, where they don't glorify necessarily, or they learned how to build their empires their own ways. I think that's something that we need to be questioning, why we're so interested and so focused still on our colonial masters.
All right, Kenim, a little digression from that. Let's talk about the podcast business in Nigeria in terms of encouraging economic empowerment, as it were, and we're seeing a lot of emergence of entrepreneurs in that regard. How would you describe it currently?
I think in Nigeria, the podcast space is a blue ocean. I think there's so much opportunity there, just in media in general in Nigeria, that people should definitely look into. It's especially like e-commerce in Nigeria. I think it's growing, and we should spend more time sort of like building our own, products instead of relying on the West, or to provide that for us. Like, we have to look at what happened to Russia during the Russian-Ukraine invasion, and how America just cut them off from every social media platform. And we should take a page from that and know that that could happen to us. So what will we do if we're cut off from that?
All right, Kanime O, media entrepreneur, would like to thank you for your time. Thank you.